Oh, good. Chris, how are you, my man?
I'm very good, thanks, Noel. Nice to meet
Good,
you. Nice to
nice.
speak to you.
Yeah, no, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. So we have a mutual friend of Mr. Ellis.
Yeah, Stephen Ellis. Used to go down the Lough Boating Club with him many years ago, playing pool when he used to go down there with his brother and his dad. Yeah, he's from Lough, where I'm from as well. He lives, not far from where I used to live, and I live in Gossaina now, but it's still quite close. So yes, yeah.
Excellent, excellent. So what did you play pool as a boy, like since you were young?
Yeah, I used to play for Wales juniors back in the day. I didn't go on to the youth then because I started going out and I played from like 14 to maybe, or 12 to 14 or something like that. And then I sort of went away from it then and started going out and doing other things.
Excellent, excellent. So are you a snooker player as well, or just pool?
No, never. I've played snooker. My highest break is like 30 or something. I'm not very good at snooker, but I played it. I like the game, but pool is my game. I like that much more because I'm better at pool than I am at snooker.
I think most folk are, right? So it's just
Well,
eight
yeah,
ball.
yeah, literally just 8 ball pool. Yes,
Cool, cool.
no interest in hay ball or any other game. Just literally 8 ball pool. That's the only thing that interests me.
I tell you, like the hay ball Chinese, for those that have tried it, and I know James, my business, when we were visiting a player recently, and he was like totally sold. It's like best thing ever. Everybody playing hay ball, but it
Yeah, I
always
did try.
amazes me.
I did try it the other day, but I got nothing. It didn't do anything for me. I just don't like it at all.
Cool, cool. No, it's all good. Each to their own. It's so you're playing at what kind of level back home?
So go up Shooters, Shooter Sports Bar in Neath. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. It's
I've been.
pretty good, very good standard up there. You got Marshy, Steve Ellis goes up there, Eddie Roberts, you got Dale Laura, you've got, there's a whole host of names up there. It's a very, very good standard on a Friday. I go up there every Friday, yes.
Excellent. And how do you get on against those guys?
Well, I played Kristen Phillips on Friday. Philly, yeah, who
Yeah.
Shooters in his club. Lost to him 4-2. So I had chances. Didn't take one chance where I could have won a frame. So not a million miles away. I have beaten a couple of them. I've beaten Corey Reese a couple of times. I've beaten Dale. I've beaten almost all of them, once or whatever. But yeah, but obviously they're far, far higher level than me. But yes, I have. I've had a couple of good wins. Let's put it that way.
Okay, good. Well, I mean that's good. I mean, Marshy and Corey and stuff. Like they're just, yeah, amazing players. It's an amazing standard, isn't it? Just for a club flyer, the players turning up to that, like you say, it could almost be a world championship.
Oh yeah, it is unbelievable. To be fair, the standard is on Friday. I think it was Philly. Oh, what was it now? Eddie, Philly, Corey, and one other person. I can't. It was just in the semi-final. It was like, how do you compete with that, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it is. So, how's your game then?
It's not too bad. It's got a lot better. So I used to play years ago, and then I stopped for about 20 years, and I started back January last year. So it's been just over a year now, a year and 4 or 5 months. I've been back playing properly. I got a table in my office in where I work in Gosainan, and since I got the table, I started playing again and rediscovered my love. And I love this game. I haven't played it for 20 years, and I played for a couple of months in the office from November until January 2024, and then I went up Shooters then in January 2024. And then I thought, oh my goodness, the whole world of pool opened up to me again. I thought there was no tournaments about anymore. I was saying to my mate in the office, what's these years ago when we used to play, we used to have tournaments every week. What's happened to it? All of a sudden, I discovered the whole world of pool was actually bigger than I'd ever realized. I'd forgotten how big it actually was. It's even bigger for when I used to play.
That's
Um,
brilliant.
yeah, so I have improved. I'm improving all the time, but it's just the mindset is what I want to work on because if I'm ahead, I'm fine. I'm ahead, I'm winning, I'm you know. But it's just when I'm behind is when I start to get a little bit. I want to
And
win, basically. That's my biggest problem. I
okay,
just love
okay.
winning. I'm a competitive animal. I just love winning no matter what I do. Even if I play my son in football, he's only 7. I just want to beat him. It's like it's just in me, and I'm putting it into him as well. I can see him the same when he loses. He's sort of, I'm like, oh, why am I doing this?
So like, what if what if you're losing but you're playing really well? Is that still a problem?
Well, it's better than playing terrible and losing. So sometimes I've been playing
Right.
absolutely awful and I've come back a little bit and then I've lost. I actually feel a bit better then because I actually made a bit of a game of it. Still feel
Yeah.
terrible, but not as bad as if I get absolutely hammered and play terrible. So it's definitely better, but it's just not any fun at all. I can't stand it. It just, for like an hour afterwards, I'm like, it takes me like an hour to get over it. It's not enjoyable at all. I absolutely despise it, and it sort of ruins it a little bit because I got to learn how to lose better.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Because it's quite acute with you, eh?
It's quite what, sorry?
Acute. It's big.
Yeah, yeah, it is actually. Yes, yeah. When you want to win so badly and then you don't win, I mean, how can you be happy about that? I can't understand. I just don't understand it.
What's uh, how does it manifest yourself? Like is it like frustration, uh, angry? Like how does it come out of you?
Yeah, so I sort of blame a lot. Oh, I'll shake the player's hand, but sometimes I'll swear and everything. And I'm a Christian as well. I'm not, so it's really it doesn't. I don't want to do that. It goes against everything that I believe. Goes against my God. I'm like effing this, effing that. Oh, and this, that, and then you were lucky there. If that hadn't happened, you were lucky to get on that one. It's just I've got better. Now I just say, look, well played. So I am getting better. I'm definitely getting better, but I need to get even better again.
Yeah. Wow. So is this the main thing holding you back? You think, or is there some other things? Or
Um, I think I'm focused on the score too much. That's what I find. I'm fixated on the score during the match, and then like I played a guy for like quite a big amount of money a couple of months ago up shooters, and I was leading 7-3. Then I was leading 10-8 at the break in a race to 18 for like £1,500 a man. And then I was leading 10-8. Everyone was high fiving me. Oh, you got this in the bag. You should actually be way more ahead. I should have been at least 11-7, if not 12-6. But I was 10-8, so I was still a little bit happy, but I was still a bit too close for my liking. And then I went 11-8 up or something like that. And he came back then and I put the score up for him on Q score. I pressed on the tablet 12-11. I was a race to 18. But as soon as I pressed that 12 for him and I was on 11, the first time he'd been ahead, my head just completely went. I couldn't understand how he was ahead. I was like, even though he had to win another 6 frames, I may as well have given him the game there and then. My head completely went and I lost 18-13. After dominating the game and being ahead early on, I threw it away. All because he went ahead, and when he went ahead, to me, the game may as well have been over there.
jeez, wow,
I know, I know.
wow. Um, okay, um, Chris, why do you play in the first place?
Why do
Because
I
none of this
play?
sounds fun.
No, I think I play because I'm very competitive, and I know I do have. I know I can play. I definitely can play the game. There's no doubt about that. I'm very competitive. I just love it. I love. Is it the competitors? I don't know if I love the competition or I love the game. I think I just love the game. Basically, I never get bored. I can play all day, all night. I can go to my office and play till 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'll be gutted when I'm leaving because I have to leave. I don't get bored at all. Just playing myself.
Right, great. So how does playing 4 in the morning by yourself and that just being massive fun, right? And you're loving that. How
Yeah.
does that? How do you turn such a good thing into this incredibly toxic experience where, like I say, you're a Christian man and now you're turning into like swearing and it's so not you, right? And it's like, how is that can't be fun, right? That when you're behind
No,
and losing matches,
no,
that's not fun at all.
no, that's not fun. No, because I know it's a chance I could lose here, and I'm going to be driving home, you know, just silent and just why, like, like why am I losing? Like why? Well, not just silent. I'm a Christian, so I'll be saying, Lord, why? Like why? Am I not meant to be playing the game or something? Like I just don't understand. I'm why am I? Oh, you know?
No, it's good. So, like, you're kind of like to me contradicting yourself a little bit, right? Because like you say, like you're really
Okay.
competitive, right?
Yeah.
Right. And so, what does really competitive look like? Like, really competitive to me would look like a player who is obviously very intense and will to win and driven, etc. But they'd also be driven in a number of different areas, not just to win, but also for improvement, right? Because that's
Yeah.
part of competing to win, right? Because obviously improvement is profoundly important, right? But you're
Yeah.
not focused on improvement at all. You're completely
No.
focused just on scoreline. But yet
Yeah.
improvement is part of you being a competitor. It's part of anybody being a competitor.
True. No, that's a good point, actually. I'm a bit of a perfectionist. So if I'm not perfect,
God.
I've failed.
Yeah,
And that, yeah, but you are right. I'm not focusing on improvement at all. And it's because of that perfectionism, trying to be perfect.
yeah. It's funny because I've we're just about to launch a golf product, same as Q Sport Hub, but for golf, right?
Okay.
And we've called it Imperfect Golf.
I think I've seen it actually. I've seen it. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Because obviously it's such a futile chase. I mean, obviously, like nothing I could do or any coach in the world could do to stop you being in a position where you've missed your last ball. You are going to miss balls. You are going to miss shots. You are going to run out of position. You are going to go in off. You are going to have flukes and stuff. But it sounds to me like, wow. I mean, this is really obviously we're going into this pretty blind in it. This is really as intense an issue as I've seen, to be honest, in my time in Q Sports.
Okay. Okay.
It's really, I mean, obviously, I've seen the issue many times before, but it's like the intensity, like you bring of it, because you've clearly got such an incredible passion for the game.
Yeah, I do love it. Yeah, like I say, I never get bored. I could literally, I don't understand people who say I get bored. I played enough pool. That's not even possible in my world. I can't play enough. It's literally impossible. I never get bored.
It's like,
Um,
have you had enough ice cream? It's like,
yeah,
of course,
it's
like God, of course, I want some more. That'd be amazing.
yeah. I just love it. I always have from the moment I picked up a Q. I've always loved it. When I used to play years ago, it used to be a lot worse because I was young and my parents were watching me, especially my dad. I used to put a lot of pressure, or I used to feel a lot of pressure with my mum and dad in the crowd when I used to play for Wales and all that kind of stuff. I don't think I ever won a match. I mean, seriously, I was literally would lose every single time. And what that built up in me then is a lot of sort of, it obviously done something in me that, I've now broken to an extent since I started playing back in, 18, 14, 15 months ago. So I've improved massively. I had some massive wins. My mindset now compared to how it was then, now I can actually win some matches. I'm in some good tournaments. I'm in the quarterfinals now tomorrow with the Swansea King of the Hill. So my mindset has definitely improved. But I think maybe them early days did a lot of damage in terms of, losing all the time in front of my parents and in front of, other people and just being known as a bottler, and always when it comes down to it, pot all the balls, miss the black. always miss the black over the bag. It's just something going off on the black. It's like whenever, like Jimmy White, literally Jimmy White.
Right.
Think of it like that.
Right.
Gets 17 all in his last World Championship final. He misses the black off at spot at 17 all in his last shot in his 6th World Championship final. Nothing to do with ability, all to do with mindset. He could not get over the line. Simple. That kind of thing,
Totally, yeah. Like we say in the hub, obviously you're on the hub, and it's about, the living in the future, right?
That's it.
And,
That's
and
it.
you
Yes.
also start from the past and what's happened in the past. And when you've got
Yes.
a load of baggage from the past and you're living in the future all the time, guess what?
Yeah.
There's nothing left to be in the moment.
That's exactly it. Yes.
Yeah.
Jimmy White wasn't in the moment when he hit that black. He was not in the moment, was he? He was either thinking about the past or he was thinking, I'm about to finally win it. Either way, he missed the shot,
Exactly. Sorry, this is the only thing I've got to hand here on my desk. Let me say we've got. So these are little cotton buds, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Past for you, right? We're dragging all this baggage around from, what happened in childhood and previous defeats and stuff, right? Future, because the future's going to hurt you, right?
Yeah.
And you're very afraid of the future because the future's all about said scoreline because there's conditions on your happiness. You're only going to be happy if X, Y, and Z happen, right? And all you're left with in the now, in the middle, this is us being in the moment. So this is past, in the now, future. And so if these are like, take these as like tokens. Now you get to spend them however you want, right? So Zing Tong this week, right? All of them are in the now, in the middle. All it's just playing right here.
All of it
In the
in the
middle, you
middle,
see.
yeah.
Not over there,
Yeah.
not over here, they're in the middle. In the moment. Yeah. They're not in the past, they're not in the future. It's all about right here, right now. And for you, this is really, really blunting your performance. Now, I would like you to be really excited. I'm excited for you because you haven't even been close to reaching your full potential. Whatever
No,
you
I
think your
agree
best
with that.
stuff is,
Yeah.
there's a lot more to come than that. Whatever your
Yeah.
best stuff was. I'm not saying there's not been times in your playing career where you haven't played well. Of course there has. But there's a lot more to come here because you need to learn to forgive yourself in the past, and it's like it's absolutely fine. Embrace that almost, right? So they're in the middle now, and then these ones in the future. It's like in time we're going to kind of learn to bring them into being in the moment now, past, in the moment, future. And then, like, when all your focus and attention is in the moment, then your performance goes through the roof. Your performance is completely linked to how many of these you've got in the middle, whether
Yeah.
it's
No, I
0,
totally
1,
agree with that.
2,
Yeah.
4, 5. You get it? So it's all about right here, right now, one shot at a time, regardless of what that shot means. Now, you're putting the way you're doing things, it means like you're how much focus you put right here, right now, depends on the situation that you're in, and also depends on the scoreline. Now, Tiger Woods talks a lot about there is no trying harder. Doesn't matter if this putt's in practice or it's to win the Masters. It's exactly the same. It's all about process. And it's the
Right.
process of taking this shot. I do this, this, and then this. Period. Doesn't matter if like what the consequences of this shot are. I don't care. There is no consequences if I'm right here, right now in the moment. And that's how
Yeah.
Tiger approaches the game. It's no different. It doesn't matter whether it's a swing in the driving range or it's his last approach shot for the Masters. It doesn't matter. Everyone's done exactly the same way. It's all about process. To do this, this, and this, and then I execute the shot. And the second the ball leaves the club, or in your case the cue, then we completely accept whatever the outcome is. Because you're not in control of the outcome from that moment on, right?
No.
The second the cue has struck the cue ball, whatever happens after that is into a ton of variables that you're not in control of. Atmospheric conditions. Somebody leaves the door open in the club, the atmospheric conditions in the room are going to change,
True.
right? Which leads to kicks, etc., 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 right? Leads to more darkness in the room. Table becomes heavy, etc., 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 etc. It's 101. You didn't make the cloth. You didn't set up the table. Did you know the balls are not perfect spheres? They're
Uh,
somewhat round. They're kind of round, but they're not flawlessly round. Look it up. Engineering on a Google side of things. It's like technically beyond our skill sets right now to make a perfect sphere. They're almost round. So it's like, there's 101 variables, in the table being run off, etc., etc., etc. So all you can do when a player is focused on outcome, i.e., the results, it's we're on a hiding to nothing because it's not in your control. I think the analogy I use in the hub is like on about like the neighbour getting a new car, and Chris has set the parameters of as long as they
yeah,
get a red Mercedes, I'm going to be happy, right?
right. That was a good analogy. It was a
Right,
good
it's
one.
mad,
Yeah,
isn't it? It's mad.
it
It's nothing
is
to do
crazy.
with us.
Yeah,
They can buy whatever car they want, but Chris has said, "No, you get a red Mercedes, or I'm going to go mad." You know, and we wouldn't do
yeah,
that like you're laughing at it now. Like it's madness, isn't it? It's absolutely like just an act of insanity. But what players, and it's a very common what you're going through. And players doing this is equally as mad because you're just not in control of the scoreline. Like you saying, like if you perform well, normally, and this is why I say it's quite acute in you. Normally, if a player would say, like, if they performed well but still lost, yeah, it'd be okay. But you're saying you still find that upsetting.
oh
Like
yeah. Well, I lost. I feel a bit better, but I still lost. I mean, that's not the goal, is it? So yeah, I mean,
I see. This is a problem. It's like yeah, I know, but again, it's like like with the neighbour's car, like you've set yourself a goal, you can control achieving. If you turn
no,
up at a fire and Marshy, say you're up against Marshy, right, and he plays one of the best games of his life, you're getting sent home.
yeah,
That's all
yeah,
there is to it. But guess what? It's exactly the same. Because if Chris Wright turns up and plays the best match of his life, Marshy's getting sent home,
yeah.
right? So, like, that's the biggest thing we're not in control of as our opponent. So it's
True.
all about process. And it's like being really, really committed to doing this, and this for you to be at your best. Now, how we be at our best is different in all of us, but it's like there is ones that are set in stone. Hydration, right? That was full earlier. Self hydrated properly, and obviously food intake, which we take over on the hub. Like really, really, really important. Then the last one's how you feel. Now, if you fail to execute any one of these three well, you're not going to play well. And if you don't play well at the level you're playing at the opponents you've got, you're probably going to lose. So it's like in order to get the best of yourself, you need to nail all these three things, and you have to kind of decide, right? Because this is where it's quite contradictory. It's like your priorities are winning,
Yeah,
right? Now, say I asked you to play with the butt of the cue instead, so you turn it around and hit all the shots with the butt, right? You're going to be like, well, you're going to tell me I can do one, right? And it's like, so that's obviously not going to happen, right? Now, the reason you would refuse to do that is because you want to win, because you know that would make you play worse,
yeah.
right? Right. And yet you're choosing to do other things that also make you play worse by yourself. Like you're choosing to tie your own shoelaces together. by getting
Yeah,
upset,
yeah. Of course I am,
full
because
of
yeah, because
anxiety.
it's making me play worse because I'm trying to win. Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
actually
Of
hindering myself. Yeah.
course, you are. You're tying your own shoelaces together.
Yeah, I didn't think of that one actually. That makes perfect sense. Yeah, I'm hindering my ability to win by putting these conditions on having to win to actually count it as a success instead of just
Yeah.
improvement.
But
Yeah,
yeah, exactly, and very like, of course, like fun, and that's the reason you started playing the game when you were a kid, and you talk with so much joy about the game, right? But you're sucking all the joy out of it, But
yeah.
by it's like going to a concert. Who's your favorite music? Who's your favorite band or musician? Who would you love to
Um,
see?
oh, I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. I'm not really into music. May take that, they're good.
Right,
I
great.
went to see
Okay,
Take
right.
That a couple of years ago. Yes, yeah, it was great.
Brilliant,
Yeah,
brilliant. Okay, so you got to take that, and it's like you've got a group of girls in front of you, and they're standing on each other's shoulders, and you can't see anything. They've completely ruined your night, right? Because they stand on each other's shoulders in front of you, and they've blocked your view of the stage completely. There's a group of like 20 of them, and it's like completely ruins your night, isn't it? I mean, that'd be awful, right?
yeah.
That
That's
that
not why
that'd
you
be
went, is it? Yeah,
that
yeah,
exactly. That'd be a really challenging situation. But what you're doing with your pool just now is you've got a perfect view of the stage and you can hear the music and everything's great. And what you've decided to do is you put some earmuffs on and you turn in 180 degrees and stare at the wall.
yeah,
And you paid all this money to go to the concert, had to buy a ticket 6 months in advance. You've
yeah,
deliberately done things to make this situation worse. Not fun at all. This should be a really, really joyful thing. But you're making decisions. Now, we're not talking about, it's really kind of quite misconstrued. It's like, we're not saying that your drive to win is a bad thing. It has some upsides. It has some upsides. But if you really, really, really want to win, you'll do the things that make you play at your best. Now, your performance clearly when you talked about that match, and as soon as it went 12-11, right? He shot forward, what was it, 18-13, right?
yeah.
So did he suddenly get better or did you suddenly get worse?
I suddenly got worse. I
Right.
suddenly started missing. I wasn't missing at the start, and then I
No?
started missing. Literally,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. That's it. And then he got
Yeah.
better because obviously he could see the weakness. So
Of
clearly
course.
he got
Pressure's
confidence
off.
from my downfall.
Correct. Correct. Because like we say in the hub, like our this is why golf is so much harder than cue sports, because our bodies replicate how we feel on a cellular level. We've got no choice in that. We've got no choice in that, right? So this is why, like, your arms, like, it feels like it's somebody else's arm in acute times, right? And you end up like doing things like throwing a quick one in,
Yeah,
and it's all because of anxiety, and the muscles in your arm can't perform in the same way. So this is why when we're in a relaxed, good space and we're having fun, fundamentally your body's in a better place to perform it. So this is why, like when a golfer, because all you guys are doing is that, right?
yeah,
Nothing else is moving in theory, right? But for a golfer, they're moving from their feet right up to their neck, right? So
yeah,
you've got
yeah,
100 muscles in the golf swing. So hence why, is if there's any anxiety, any part of them thinks, God, I hope I don't put it in the water here. It's going in the water
yeah.
because your
Exactly.
body's going to show that anxiety that's in us. So it's all about processing you being at your best. So again, this is where it's like there's this conflict in you, where it's like you really, really, really want to win, but you're doing everything possible to not win.
Yeah, it's like self-sabotage, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's what it is, really. Does it come from losing so much? And I don't know, from when I was younger, it's maybe something to do with that, isn't it?
definitely.
Subconsciously, I'm doing it on purpose because
Yeah,
I've told myself I'm a loser because of them early days. you know, because
Sure.
I proved it on multiple occasions. I couldn't win, so therefore I must be a
Right.
loser. So yeah.
But like factually, I mean, the facts are, Chris, like you have beaten some of the best pool players in the world, some of the best 8 ball pool players in the world, right? Are playing in
Yeah,
your
I
club,
mean,
right?
in the last 14 months I have, yes, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And so there's some of the best players in the world, and you've beaten them. So therefore, you should be going into these tournaments, supremely confident. You know,
Yeah,
it'd be
yeah,
mad to think of it, in any other way. And this is kind of like my upside. Yes, okay, I wasn't a key sports player, but I've been the competitor, as you know, as a racing driver when I was young, and I was, like supremely confident, in my abilities. Come the big events, and there's 250 guys, and coming away with the trophy at the end of the day. It was like it wasn't a surprise to me. Because I realised this isn't a driving contest. This isn't a fastest driver wins thing. It's whoever's got the best mindset wins.
yeah, yeah,
That's what I understood. But back in the 90s, people weren't kind of doing mental performance like I was. I knew I was doing something else that nobody else was, and nobody knew I was doing it. I was like massively into the books and kind of studying this, and hence why I'm teaching that today. But
yeah,
again, just understanding it. Look, and I think that's probably the key takeaway for you, hopefully, out of this is it's like if you can reframe how you're viewing it, that it's not a scoreline, no, it's not a pot and balls competition, it's a mindset competition.
yeah.
That
No,
is
I like that
so
one.
key. And if you, and again, like I think like this is why I kind of like I love one to one, like Q Sport Hub's brilliant and we're helping so many people and it's great, but obviously it's generic because we've no idea what the players, who's listening to it, what the players' issues are. We just try and kind of cover everything as much as we can. But obviously, when you're doing it one to one like this, we're able to kind of really get down to it that suits you. Right
Yeah,
directly for you. But I'm thinking that it's like if you can just reframe it and understand that this is a mindset competition, then
yeah, I like that, yeah.
that's the priority. It's not about scoreline. Like I know the scoreboard says this, but that isn't its process. That isn't why I'm here.
No,
This is a
you're the
mindset
mindset
competition, right? So
competition.
how do I be at my best mindset wise? That right, okay, I'm getting anxious about because I'm behind, right? Again, we're getting away from that's not the task. Got to be absolutely right here. And why do I play this game? And these are the kind of self talk things when you're sat in your chair in between frames. It's like, what am I here to do fundamentally? I'm here to enjoy myself. This is meant to be fun. This is why I'm doing this, right? Okay, good.
Yeah,
So I'm meant to be here to enjoy myself, right? Who's all the players I've won? I've beaten. I've beaten some of the best 8 ball players in the world. And these are the conversations to have with yourselves, sat in the chair in between times. And then with that in mind, right, you get up and you reset and you go again. If you are feeling anxious, and yeah, you will. This isn't kind of going to go away just like this. This is such an ingrained thing in you. And all we're after is that the next comp, if you can do it 10% less, that's great.
yeah,
And then
yeah,
the event after that, you're 10% less again. And then 6 months down
exactly.
the line, it's like you're
All of a
you're
sudden,
back.
it's the compound interest. Yeah, yeah,
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly. Great word. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Compound
but
interest. Yeah, yeah.
I've been trying to do that. So how do I ignore the scoreboard? Because I've been telling myself it's a mindset competition. I've been trying not to look at the scoreboard, but that's difficult because you've got to
Oh,
put your score up. They said, "Oh, you haven't put your score up." I'm like, I don't want to look at it. It's like
no,
I can't
it's
really
not.
disguise it.
No, it's not like this isn't
That's
going to work.
I'm trying to avoid it.
No, no, it's like it's just it's an acceptance. It's exactly the same as like our relationship to failure. It's like we can't be pushing failure away. We can't be pushing the losses away. We can't be pushing the difficulties away, which is
Yeah,
this. So this is just another kind of form of failure, right?
yeah,
But we need to embrace failure. You know,
Yes.
the,
Yeah.
the doorbell goes and I go downstairs and, you know, failure's there at the front door. And instead of slamming the door in its face, and I'm like, come on in, come on in.
Embrace it.
Let's
Yeah,
put the kettle
exactly.
on.
Come, embrace
Let's
it.
have a
Not
chat.
don't be scared of it. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
failure's good stuff.
It's how
Fa-
you
fa-
improve, isn't it? So it's actually
this is
I've learned
so
loads because of all my losses lately. I am actually learning a lot. I'm starting to think now, right, what did I learn from that? I had 2 shots with the black to go 13 all on Monday, bank holiday Monday. I had 2 shots. It was 13-12 down. 2 shot. He went in off with the black, just the black on the table, and I basically messed the 2 shots up with just the black in the middle of the table, and my head completely went, and I lost 15-12. But I went away afterwards and thought, right, I should have just, reset myself. So, right, just play it normal. It doesn't matter what the score is. It doesn't matter. It's going to be 13 all. It doesn't really matter. Just play the shot. But I didn't do that, and it cost me. But I did learn afterwards. Next time, I'm going to make sure I don't do that.
yeah. Are you quite kind of critical of yourself when you after that goes wrong, you're sitting back in the chair?
Yeah, but come on, I had 2 shots with a black in the middle of the table for 13 all, having been
Right.
13-10 down.
Show me a player. Show me any player who has not done that or similar.
Oh yeah, every player's done it. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Right. So that's the problem. It's absolutely okay. And like I say, like I think again, I mentioned this in the hub. I think it's like from a mindset perspective, I think it's the only thing personally I'm really really good at is like I'm completely non self critical of myself. I
Well,
mean,
even in the moment,
yeah, yeah, we got to like I'm a mindset coach, right? I mean, this is what I do for a living, and you would think my mindset is I'm just like on it all the time and absolutely amazing and buzzing with life and skipping down the street and of course not. Dogs do that. Dogs are that amazing. Humans aren't. None of us are, and it's all right. Like, do I get anxious sometimes? Yeah, of course I do. Do I get angry and frustrated sometimes? Yeah, of course I do. I'm human. It's absolutely okay. But the thing that differentiates me with most, because obviously I've got a profound skill set with this, is I'm completely accepting of it. It's like I'm absolutely okay. I didn't judge myself. I didn't say, "Oh, I'm doing a bad thing." Come on, what are you doing? Get yourself sorted out. What are you doing? Not at all. Like totally accepting of errors and anything else. I haven't always been like that, of course not. And I'm not like that the same every day either. Like there'll be days where I can make a mistake. I don't know, God. I mean, I think a couple of months ago I fell down in Tesco's, and I don't know how I did it. It was just like my foot caught, and I had the trolley, and I pushed the trolley away from myself before I knew it. I was like on my side, right, and it's like loads of folk like saw it and stuff, right. And there'll be days where I'd be really self conscious and a bit embarrassed and upset with myself, right? And other days like that happened to be one of those days where I was on the floor laughing. It was just laughing. I thought it was hilarious, you know,
yeah.
and it's great, and it's like there's just nothing to do it. I think like I had a little. I was at a wedding at the weekend. My nephew is a golf pro, and just after the wedding, it's kind of like a wedding game thing. They set up this golf competition, right? Just like everybody got one shot. Like the bride nearly won it. It was hilarious, right? Unbelievable. She wasn't even a golfer, right? And there was like 4 tour pros there, and she beat them. It's amazing. But it's like everybody kind of gets a shot at taking one shot, and I'm there, and there's like I don't know, 70 people watching. Do you get like quite self conscious at that moment? Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
did. Yeah, I did. I absolutely did. I could feel it. I mean, I didn't do a terrible shot, but I smashed a shot like straight through the back of the green. I hit way too far, but But again, it's like, I'm absolutely okay with it. The future can't hurt me because I don't care. Like, I mean, it's a non-event. I still want to win, still want to do well, but if I don't, I'm absolutely okay with that. And so, like when I say, like, if I turn up at the golf club to with a tour pro, and they see me pull up in my car, and I open the boot and I come out with my putter in my hand because I'm doing a session with them, they're just like, oh God, shit. Like he's wanting to putt with me today. And they'll say, like, so when did you last putt? I'm like, I don't know, 4 months ago, something like that. And they're obviously a pro. I play golf 2 or 3 times a year. They're playing every day. What chance do I have? What chance do I have? But yeah, I more often than not rinse them. I turn them inside out on the putting green.
Yeah.
But just because I've got I've got disadvantages and experience and skill set, and my putting stroke's worse than them, and blah 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 blah. The list is as long as I don't care about any of those disadvantages I've got. I know I've got one big advantage, and that's from a mindset point of view, because
Yeah.
they're here to win. They want to beat me. I don't care. And so, in order to beat me, they want to put that ball in the hole. And again, whether that ball goes in the hole or not is not in charge of how I feel. I do not care. I hit the putt, and from the second the ball leaves the club, I'm completely accepting whatever happens. Ball has a wee wobble, it doesn't drop. I feel exactly the same genuinely walking up to the ball to pick it up, whether it's in the hole or not. It's a superpower.
It is definitely. I mean, that's insane to be fair. Yeah.
Absolute superpower. And if I was, I always say this to the players. It's like, God, it's a good job I don't play this game, because see if I was like of the skill set. Say I was a 50 break player in snooker, right? Say I was at that standard, right, instead of the 9 that I currently have.
Yeah.
But if I was a 50 break player, I tell you what, snooker and pool guys, they'd be in a world of trouble playing me. A world of trouble playing me.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Because I'm completely fearless. Nothing can hurt me. No scoreline's going to have any effect on me. And anything, it's a superpower. And really, to be honest, it's not like you have a skill set that I don't have in terms of your cue action, your technical ability, your playing. Because obviously you've been playing since a boy, right? Now, obviously, I can't just make a decision and be as good as you, right? I can't just have a couple of lessons and be as good as you. No, I mean it's gonna take me more than my lifespan is left
Mhm.
in order to have the time to catch you up on the technical aspect of the game, right?
Yeah.
Whereas this is the beauty about the mindset. It's just a choice. You can do this tomorrow.
Yeah, I will be. Yeah.
No, but you can, because it's not
Yeah.
it's not a skill set. It's not so
No, it's a
much like
choice. It's a
something to
choice.
learn.
It's a choice. Exactly.
It's
Yes. Yeah.
just simply black or white, red or green. It's
Yeah.
just a choice of, am I going to let X, Y, and Z happen to upset me? Yes or no? And
Yeah.
you
No, that's right. That is. Yeah.
push the yes button every time. And it's just a simple choice. I absolutely, from a competitive point of view, like if I'm trying to do that and I'm trying to be competitive, I want to compete. I want to win. You didn't be 3 times British champion without wanting to win. It's like, of course, I want to do that, right? And I'm absolutely committed and driven to be able to do that. But in order to do that, I have to perform really well. And in order to do that, I need to be at my best. And in order to be at my best, I need to let go of outcome. I need to, because if I start getting about outcome, that only leads to frustration, anger, despair, for all of us, for all of us. And so it's
Yeah.
very difficult. And see, Ellis is Ellis is he's pretty good at it. He's getting better and better and better. And I was there when he had his GB9 final in London. I made it there for the final, and it was like he was playing a Friday night flyer. It was a non-event, absolute non-event. No
Yeah,
pushing nerves or anything. He played really well, and because it was nothing. He knows it's all about process. It's all about me being at my best, not scoreline or anything else. So this is why it's understandably difficult for you, Chris. It's not a natural thing because literally, like you're cold and I'm wanting to take your jacket off you, telling you're going to be warmer. You
yeah,
know, it's like I'm asking you to go out in the rain and telling you're going to be drier out there.
yeah,
It's difficult because like the wind is that way, but I'm asking you to go that way.
yeah, 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 yeah,
You know, because that way is where the performance lies. We let go of outcome. We're just here to do your best, completely accepting whatever happens, and be in the moment. So like back to that. We've got these are all here. Like
yeah,
at my worst, I might do that on a really bad day. But generally, I notice I've done that, and I just bring that straight back again into the middle, into the
yeah,
now, because that's
yeah.
but you're all over the place.
I got one in the middle and the rest exactly, and that's
At
I
best, on a good
can't
day,
win
I've got one.
consistently doing that. Yeah,
No, 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 no. You're exposed. You're completely vulnerable, and from a and also you're vulnerable to players playing hijinks and gamesmanship and stuff like that as well. It's like but in the middle, it's like the middle way generally in life is always the way to go. Like say like what do you do for a job, Chris?
I do will writing and power of
Oh,
attorneys. It's called
cool.
estate planning.
Right.
Me and my wife, we got like a family-run business. Yeah,
Excellent. Excellent. Very good. Very good. But it's kind of like it's exactly the same as like in life being at one extreme of a personality. So being incredibly easygoing, right, is great, has plenty of upside, right? But there's also a downside to that because people are kind of going to potentially take advantage of you, and they're just not going to be kind of like maybe a bit less disrespectful and stuff of you, and then it's exactly the same shit at the other end, and you're quite, if a person is quite intense and they're quite an angry kind of individual, again, that holds some upside. It's not all downside. But again, you're going to be well liked, and it's in the middle is always where to be. It's especially like like for people who are managers or people. You've got to be able to do both. You've got to be like if you're managing a group of people, they've got to feel like they're on your side and you're your friend, but at the same time they wouldn't want to cross you. You're going to do exactly what you tell them to do. And that's what a
yeah,
good manager is able to do. It's always in the middle way is always the best way. Each end of the scale is no good, and you're kind of doing.
yeah,
You're not just there or there. You're this. You're
yeah.
both ends. You know, because I know what's happened in the past, and then and it's really good self awareness of that actually. It's really good self aware. We stuff with your dad, and it's like, but I say like it's perfectly kind of like normal. It's quite acute. What you're going through is very common in players, but it's just from what you describe, I was really like, whoa, wow, this is quite acute. Doesn't sound
Yeah.
fun, my friend.
No, no, it's definitely not fun. It's got better. I'll definitely say that since only since I've been on the hub actually listening
Good,
to you.
thank you.
That's when it's got better. Is because I've started to think right. There's a mindset competition. I'm learning. I learn. So I have got a lot better actually. But that's only when I came across you about 2 months ago or whatever it was. So up until then,
Well,
I had nothing. I'd never worked on the mindset. like you say, the skill game, you practice every day, you do this, you do that, but you never work on the mindset. And there's two sides, but we never see it like that, do we? I never even thought about the mindset side. I thought, mindset, how do you work on that? Well, I can't believe it's more important than the practice side, the physical side, isn't it?
Yeah, no. I mean, absolutely. I mean, I think it is. It's so incredibly key. And there was a study with basketball players done in the States, and whenever there's like scientific studies, you always have three groups of an even number. So there's 10 players, so there's 30 players, and there was three groups of 10. And so basically, they did like a skills assessment, 30 players, and tried to get 30 players of similar abilities, and did the skills assessment, and then they split them up for a week, and then did the skills assessment again at the end. So during the course of this week, they had 10 players who did no instruction. They were just left to their own devices. So that's the first test group. Second test group, they got a profound amount of instruction from a team of professional coaches. And then the last group, they didn't get to practice at all. But what they did was they practiced just mentally. So they had them in a classroom with their eyes closed, and they were visualizing, practicing various shots that they were doing in the skills test. The week before, and they did this every day for a week. So at the end of the week, they start testing players again, right? So the group of players that had no instruction, they were pretty much the same as it would have been, right? No surprise there. So the group of players that had some professional instruction, they were profoundly better at the end of that week, right? Totally understandable, right? The players that had spent a week and they didn't even have a ball in their hand, but they had practiced just purely mentally, they had within a few percent matched the group that had had all the instruction.
Wow.
So this is how profound the mindset side of things, and this is why I say, like, the game's in two bits: but technical experience, cue action, all that stuff, and then there's mindset on the other side. And and it's not that one's more important than the other, not at all. But what happens is, and this is why I say it's a mindset competition, is because on the technical side of things, especially at the level you're playing at, everybody's amazing. Everybody can do that. So it's not the differentiating factor anymore. The mindset is. And obviously gains like, fluid intake and eat for performance, etc., etc. And I actually heard from I don't know if you heard today, but the boys are obviously out in China playing over there in the Hayball 700 grand tournament. It's the biggest paid tournament on the planet, I think, isn't it? And
Actually.
Mr. Ellis and Sheppy and Craig all won today. So it's great. So they're back on again tomorrow. I think it's last 28, 128.
Okay, yeah, 128, yeah.
So
pretty good, yeah.
Last 128 tomorrow, and then down to 64 and stuff. So yeah, so it's all good. Big competition that for the boys. So hopefully that goes well. But again, they're trying to do exactly the same as what we're discussing here. Just letting go of outcome, and just being absolutely passionate about performance and doing the best thing. And it doesn't mean they want to not win. Of course, they'd love to win, but only two things are going to happen, right? We're going to win, or you're going to fail and you're going to learn something.
Yeah, both good outcomes, isn't it? Yeah.
Exactly. So what's the problem? They're both great outcomes. And there's a lot to say that the failure bit's better than the winning bit.
That's what I was going to say, actually. The failure and learning is arguably better than the winning. Because if you make a mistake and win, you forget about the mistake and I won anyway. Never mind that shot. I still won. Yeah.
Exactly. We don't really learn anything. We rarely learn anything from our wins. It's the failures where we learn. It's funny because just a few hours ago, I recorded a video that's going out on the YouTube channel, and it took me a talk exactly about that. It's like how to achieve a kind of winning mindset, and I think, like, for me, it's as much to do as your mindset and your attitude to failure. That you achieve this bit by getting this bit right, because if this bit isn't right, your relationship to failure, how can you have a winning mindset? Because it's so fundamentally flawed. We need this to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And it's all about, this is how we learn. Like, we fail. Same like when we're toddlers, we try and learn to walk and we keep falling over, but we keep trying, we keep trying, we keep trying, keep trying. And we keep getting the dinning. Have you seen a toddler get upset because they can't walk?
No, no, they just keep trying.
They
Yeah.
just accept it and they just go again. How
Yeah.
are they? They're just here. They're only here on the planet a couple of years, and they've already got better mindsets than most of the adults on the planet.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah.
They're not getting frustrated or upset or anything about it. They just keep trying, and eventually, they get there. But they only get there because of all the failures. And it's
Yeah.
exactly the same. You're only so skilled now because of all the mistakes and the failures you made in the past.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So where's the problem in making more?
Exactly. It's not a problem, is it? It's not. It's if you take away the winning aspect and the outcome aspect, you can't lose. You
No,
win or you learn. It's literally both good outcomes.
both are great. And I'm not saying to you, it's not it's more reframing what we care about, what we're passionate about. That's the key thing. It's like just be really, really passionate about performance rather than a win that we're not in control of.
Yeah,
Because we're still,
exactly.
no matter how well we perform, it's still not a guarantee of winning.
No, of
Of
course not.
course
No,
not,
it's too many other
right?
conditions, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's too many other variables that we can't do anything about. But we just be really, really, really passionate about performance, and then when you start to, it's just a process of like learning. It's like no different, I suppose, to the technical side. Really, it's a choice at the end of the day, but it's such a difficult choice that it's just that generally it's something players are struggling to do, like right off the bat like that. But really, there's nothing stopping them doing that. It's not it's not like I'm asking you to learn to fly tomorrow. You know,
No, no, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, just all you're being asked to do is like have the same passion that you want to win, and drive and determination. That's all great. That's all good
Yeah.
stuff. But just add some acceptance to it, that it's absolutely okay. And if you can just, if the frustration of a loss is happens for just an hour after the match instead of 4 or 5 days like it was at one point, then it's great.
Yeah, exactly. Small improvements, isn't it? Yeah,
Because
definitely.
yeah, I mean, it's like that's all that matters, is it's like it's getting better. I mean, if you continue to get better, the results take care of themselves. You
Exactly.
know?
Exactly. And the more you embrace failure, the better you become. Because now you're looking for the lessons when you lose, as opposed to, like beating yourself up and making guaranteeing the next performance is going to be worse.
Yeah, exactly. And I actually I love, like, I'm not Christian myself, but like I love players. I've got a Muslim player. Like, I love that. Like I love players that have got a belief system, because I think it ties in really well with sport.
Yeah.
I think like there's a kind of spiritual kind of saying, like the destination can never be happier than the journey. And it's
All
like,
right.
well,
Yeah.
like we fail to understand that it's not like I'll be happy when this, and this happens. I'm like, no, the good bit is now, not there.
Yeah.
The good bit's right now, because again, there's future. It's all about right
Yeah.
here, right now, right? And it's like,
Yes.
the destination can never be happier than the journey, because it's all about the journey. The journey is the good bit. And it's like you're
Exactly.
really resistant to your journey. It's like this journey you're on is one of, great joy when you win and absolute despair when you don't, and it's like so frustrating, and like you're swearing, and it's like God, it's like unbelievable. It's just like driving you up the wall because you're so resistant to it. And what we
Yeah,
resist is
that's it.
this.
Yeah,
You want to push this away. I don't
that's
like
it.
this.
And then when it happens, then it's like,
Yeah,
like it
yeah,
happened again. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly,
Exactly,
exactly, exactly.
exactly. You just kind of
Petrified of it, and then it happens, and you've got to deal with it, and you don't want it. So yeah.
exactly. So what we resist persists. Now, it's only got power because we're pushing against it.
That's
What we need
it.
to do is
I'm
exact
pushing it
opposite.
away. Yeah.
Come on in.
Come on. I want failure.
Come on
Exactly.
in.
I want
Yeah.
failure because I want to learn. I want to improve. And I
Yeah.
can't improve without failure. It's not possible.
No, no. Exactly. If you won every
Yeah.
game from now for the rest of your playing career, which obviously is going to be impossible, but if you did, like you're just going to, absolutely fall on your arse. It's there's a couple of stats like we said in this video we did earlier. We had I was listening to a podcast today and it had Roger Federer was on it, right? A tennis player. And so per point is on about here, not matches, per point,
Yeah.
right? He's won 52% of the points that he's played in his career.
Wow. That's it. Wow.
52. It's only just above half.
That's
That was
crazy.
the difference between being a legend or not, at
Yeah.
2%.
That's crazy.
Unbelievable. Jack Nicklaus famously won less than 0.5% of the tournaments he ever entered. He's the
Wow.
most successful player of all time.
Crazy. Yeah, it's insane. Right, Nadal, the tennis player Nadal, I always admired his mindset. What a mindset that man had. He
Yeah,
never knew when he was beaten. Every
digging
single
deep and
point he was love 40 down and 5-0 down, and he'd still, he just literally he'd fight for every single point, and he'd just try his best. That's all he would do every time. He'd just try his
yeah,
best.
exactly. What what more can we do? That's the task. We're just going to give absolutely, and that's what you're not being asked to meander around. You're not being asked to go into the event and be completely flat and not kind of like give your all in. It's not at all. No, not at all. You give every fibre of your being, everything. You give everything, and then you just completely accept whatever happens.
Yeah, exactly. You accept it no matter what. Before you go in there, you accept that I'm not in control of the result. Doesn't matter what
Yeah.
happens.
No.
I I can't control it
No.
anyway. I leave it go. I'm just
Yeah.
there to do my best and see what happens.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
that's
And
all
it's a
you can.
mindset competition. Yeah. And I've
Yeah.
been working on my mindset. So whoever I'm playing, I don't think they've been working on their mindset. So I've got an advantage before we even start.
Absolutely. And this is like I love going to big tournaments with players. Like I was at IPA recently, and I was stood with a player that we work with, and we were just there chatting, and I'm like, "Have you noticed something about the room? Like there must be 100 people in there, right? And there's like 30 or 40 tables. Have you noticed something?" And they're just like what? What do you mean? This is well. Look at the drinks. Show me how many bottles of water are in this room. I think we counted 100 people. I think we counted like 3 bottles of water in the whole room. Um, there was many pints of lager, cider, you know, blackcurrant, Guinnesses, etc., and cans of Coke, and I'm like, just from a hydration point of view, look at the advantage you've got. We've spent all day carefully hydrating you, and we know you're absolutely on the button. And it's like, look at the advantage you've got. And that's just hydration. Never mind mindset, food intake, how to practice properly and understanding what the most important thing is, cue ball control and working on all these. It's profoundly important, and I think, like, just the fact you're on the hub, you should have enormous kind of confidence because obviously, yes, when you got a big tournament in IPA, yes, there's a number of players there that are on the hub plainly, but by the looks of it, it was only three. Because there's only three bottles of water.
Yeah,
I'd be
yeah, yeah.
awfully
The three that
disappointed.
are actually listening. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like, what's the point? Why are you on the hobby? Even doing this stuff, and feeling important. How you obviously you've got a love for your solo play. How are you getting on with that? Have you tried the drills that are on there that Sheppy's done?
no, I only listened to the first couple of lessons, and then I just instantly went to the one-on-one then because I'm that type of person. I knew I wouldn't continue with it, so I just thought, right, there's the guy that can help me. Let me just get him on a one-to-one.
I would, yeah, no, and that's great, but I'd really like say, like, obviously, like, say we had a 1-to-1 every day, right? That would
Yeah,
be pretty profound, right? Or
yeah,
like
yeah,
understandably, right, obviously. But it's like in terms of, like, you've definitely got, things to learn on the hub. It's really, like, as I say, like, there's content on there, like, there's the links on the private group, for YouTube, and there's videos on there that I've listened to literally hundreds of times, and I'm still learning off them now.
right. I need to listen to it
So
all. Yeah,
it's really like, you need to be on there, especially, like, because I mean there's sections on there teaching you how to sleep better.
right.
We can't.
Okay.
There's not enough time to go over
No,
everything.
it's not possible.
There's
Yeah,
6 hours of content or something on the hub, and as I say, like, this is why, like, I've kind of studied, how, like, astronauts sleep, how Olympic athletes sleep, how learning of sleep coaches and stuff, in order to put this content together for you. So I mean, I think there's half hour just on sleeping alone,
oh, wow.
in terms of, like, how to prep for that. So there's advantages there as well. So we're just giving you, like, success in elite sport is hundreds of little things done well.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? That's what a Premiership football team is, or a Formula One team. It's hundreds of little things done well, and this is what we're kind of trying to show you. Mindset is just one small part of, like, what's on there. So I'd really, really recommend, you get some more time on the hub, and
Yeah,
go through
definitely.
that, because it's the cheapest way as well to try to
Yeah,
learn this
definitely.
stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, the
You know,
value's great. No, I'm definitely going to go back on there now you said that. I need to
yeah,
go
yeah,
back
yeah.
on because
No,
there's
no,
so much
do that.
content on there. Yeah.
And there's drills there, like there's footage of Sheppy doing drills
Oh, okay.
on there, you see,
Right.
as well. So you definitely want to be doing that. And these drills are all with cue ball control in mind, because
Right.
that's the most important thing.
Yeah, of
Everything
course.
revolves in that. And snooker is really simple. It's actually more simple. It's just cue ball control is the beginning and end of anything that matters.
Yes.
But in pool, we've got a complication. It's cue ball control, but it's also the break.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's, like,
It's
really
massive.
key. How do you find your break? Like, tell me about your break and compared to when you're relaxed and you're ahead and everything's good,
Uh,
compared to what happens to your break when you're behind and you're starting to get anxious.
yeah, I normally go in off then. Like, I had an important break the other day. I thought, right, have a good break now, no matter what happens. I'd come back to like 13-12 from like 13-10 down or something, big break, big break. I go in off for the first time in the match in 15 frames or whatever it is. What a time to go in off, like. But it's because in my mind, right, big break now, read the contract. It's like instead of it's just a break, just break. But it has gone a lot better actually. I used to go in off all the time, so I started cut breaking. That wasn't really working, but I have found my break now. It's good. I pot so I don't know 70% of the time maybe, and I go in
Wow,
off like once in a match or something. So it's gone a lot better.
right,
It's
right.
like a weapon now. I would say it's a big advantage now.
That's great. Wow, wow. No,
Yeah, it is.
that's really good. That's really good. So, like, and this is good learning for everybody else. Like, what's the way you talk about your break now is quite telling, and how
Okay.
enthusiastic and confident you are about it, right? So when you go into a break, like, what do you expect to happen?
I expect to pot the ball every time.
right? Brilliant.
Yeah,
And
thinking I'm going to
that's
pot the ball.
phenomenal. And would you say that is that a believing you will or hoping that you do?
No, I really believe I will because I normally I've got a big break. I don't know what it is. I change my breaking cue. I put it in a different position, and it's just working.
Love
So
it.
I'm happy with it. Yeah,
Right. So it's like the key to your break is
mind
it's not like yeah, totally. You're getting
mindset. Yeah,
exactly you're getting exactly what you expect to see.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's always a mirror image of that. Now,
yeah,
if somebody was saying to you, so you expect good things to happen, and good things happen, right?
yeah.
So, say somebody was to say to you, right, okay, say you were, there's what's like a common race number, like a race to
Raise to five. It is in shoot. Well, raise
five.
to four in shoot.
Okay,
There's all. Yeah,
right, okay. So say you got a race to five, right? You can tell them no play, right? And say you were 3-0 up, right? And the
yeah,
player came back to lead 4-3. If somebody said to you, right,
yeah.
Chris, how do you expect you would feel in that moment?
Unbelievable. How am I in this position? Kind of thing. Yeah,
Right. And what happens?
you lose.
Yeah, but no, but you get exactly what you expected. Your opinion on how you would feel would be correct, right?
Yeah, because that's how you're
Yeah.
gonna feel when it happens. Yeah, 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 yeah.
You see, and that's why it happens. That's why it
Yeah,
happens.
that's a
It's
good
not.
point.
It's
If
not
you
by
answer the question, oh, I'd be absolutely fine. I mean, I'm still in the game. Then that's what how you'll feel, isn't it? Yeah,
yeah,
I didn't think of that. Actually.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly, exactly. We get
yeah,
exactly what, and this is why your break's so good. It's not like you're putting most breaks. So, and this is how it's viewed normally, right? So you're putting most breaks, and therefore the byproduct to that, cause and effect, the byproduct to that is that you're really confident that you're going to put one, right?
yeah.
Whereas actually it's the other way around. You're confident you're going to put one, and that's why you put one.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
You see, it's always the belief first.
Belief first, and then the outcome is yeah, yeah,
Exactly. But most times folk think it's the other way about. But we get exactly the stories we tell ourselves,
yeah,
right? And it doesn't
yeah,
matter. Like, I mean, don't get us wrong. I mean, there's no, we can't come up with nonsense and believe we can do that. Like, jumping off a high building and so, like, I really believe I'm going to fly. I mean,
yeah,
it's,
yeah, yeah.
there's got to be some substance behind it. Or if I talk to myself into um, that I'm going to play you and Ellis and I'm going to smash his up, and
Yeah,
I'm going to
yeah.
win, right? Now, obviously, if you see my cue action, you'd literally puke. Um, so, so it's like, I mean, that's just nonsense. There's no sincerity to it, right? But we get exactly the stories we tell ourselves. But the real story we tell ourselves, sometimes, and blokes do this a lot, much more than women do. Um, because of ego and stuff, like, we end up saying, like, I'm all right, I could do that, I could do that. But it's all just like chest beating Neanderthal BS, there's no sincerity to it. It's like I can remember I was playing golf one day and I three putted on the first hole and I was really hurting. I was really hurting because that like three putting's really bad. And and because obviously like the etiquette is like whoever wins the hole plays off first on the nets on the second tee. And so I was in a group of four, so I had a bit of time to recover, and I'm meditating. I'm doing all the yummy stuff that I know what to do. It's like, and I managed to persuade myself I'm okay. And by the time I stepped up to it, I'm like, it's fine. I've put that in the past, right? So I've got, these are over there. It's like it's in the past now, right? It was hurting me initially, and then I brought everything to there. So I
Yeah.
thought. So I thought, but I was
Oh,
wrong. We tell ourselves little lies all the time. I thought it was like that when really it was like that. And now, what was
Right.
the proof of that? How do I know that was the case? Because when I hit my tee shot, I went about 100 yards out of bounds on the left, right? So the ball showed me the truth,
Yeah.
the where I was really at, not me, because like we're just we end up lying to ourselves and telling ourselves kind of BS stories. That there's no kind of like reality of that. But it's like if you want to see where your mindset's at, look at what you're getting.
Right.
That's
Okay. Yeah.
always the truth. So in terms of like it's the same in life, if people are struggling in life and bad things keep constantly happening, that's a reflection on where you're at.
Yeah.
We all know those people kind of woe is me, God, why does this always happen to me? This is so unfair. And we know the same people on the table as well, right? They do the same thing. Oh God, always going off.
It always happens to me, and yeah,
Always
exactly.
happens to
Yeah,
me. Yeah. And to a degree they're right,
it does
but they,
because
they
that's what they
expect it.
believe, and that's what's happening. They get more and more evidence to support the belief. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Yeah.
Exactly. And this is why, again, like if you run a poll, like say you had 100 pool players, right? And you task them, right? Do you feel when you play a match, does the other player get more of a run than you, or do you get more of a run than the other player, right? And there was 100
Yeah,
players, right? I can absolutely guarantee 95% of them would say the other player gets more of a run than they do.
95%, isn't it? Yes, yeah. And it's not true, obviously, because luck
Nonsense,
evens itself out.
nonsense. But it's not that they're telling a fib.
No, no, because yeah, because they're thinking that it probably does happen, doesn't it? Yeah.
Well, it does partly that, but also they only register a count on
Ah,
running the ball when the other player gets it, but when they get it, it's a non-event. They
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
notice
yeah.
that. That's absolutely
Right.
okay.
Yeah, that that happens when you're playing well. You have the flicks and the thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. No,
Right,
exactly. And it's like God, he had to run there. I'm like, God, it's just such nonsense. It's like, why even
right.
paying attention to that?
Who
So again,
cares?
like it's
Yeah,
when we become committed to excellence, we become committed to doing the best. It's like when we set up this process of you playing a shot and whatever your mindset is, and it's like you stood behind the ball and it's like, this is what we're doing. Going to put this in, come off the bottom cushion, come back up for this one, and then you execute the shot, and then the second the ball's left to cue, you completely accept whatever happens, right? So that's the process of kind of taking a shot. Pre-shot, in the moment, post-shot, and post-shot is just acceptance of whatever the outcome is. But at no point in that process do we say, well, depending on the scoreline, you do this, this, or this. No, the scoreline's completely irrelevant. Or if this shot means like it's for the match, then you have to think this way. No, it's exactly the same. None of these little deviances or rules like come in. It's always the same, exactly the same. It doesn't matter if it's practice or it's to win the match. It's exactly the same. And why a player's performance dips when when like the classic final, like is it the '85 final with Stephen and Dennis Taylor, the
all right.
snooker
Yes,
final.
yeah.
Remember,
85.
the
Yes,
classic
yeah, yeah.
one, yeah.
The
Like the
black ball.
shots
Yeah,
were, yeah, the shots they were missing was absolutely ridiculous because they're all in
yeah,
the future. They're not in the moment. They're not playing like it
yeah,
is same in practice. They're making it special. They're making it different. You know,
yeah,
and this is why players, it's the same age old problem of like probably the biggest Q Sports problem of players have is they can't replicate what they do in practice and they do in matches
yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
because they're making it different. It's no different.
Making it different when it's yeah, that's a choice, like you said, isn't it? You're choosing to make it different. Why is it different? Why can't it just be the same? It can be if you wanted to be, isn't it? You're choosing
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. But they're
Right.
choosing, and I think it's just very they've been taught to do that. I think there's this like especially in books, like, you have to show to other people who are watching how much this means by
Yeah.
showing disappointment and stuff.
Yeah, that you actually care, you missed a
Yeah,
shot, you look a bit of a dick or whatever, you got to show your head down,
yeah,
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 he knows how bad he did there. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. It's like
yeah. Whereas if
showing
you were in
everybody.
practice and you missed it, it doesn't matter.
No, 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 exactly. And it's just a simple
Yeah.
choice between, you know, performance and one path. There's there's great performance, there's learning, there's acceptance, there's fun, and the other way there's nothing but despair, misery, and a lesser performance.
Right, okay.
And it's like
Yeah,
that's your job. Your job's to turn up and be at your best, and
yeah,
you do that by letting go of outcome.
yeah, exactly. And then you can perform at your best because you're not attached to the outcome. So either
Yeah.
way, you can't fail effectively.
No, it's right. It's like God. You would think I would start raving mad if I said to you, Chris, hang on, next door neighbour, they've got this. What have they got? And they've got a red
Yeah.
Nissan. I'm just going to batter their door down because I want them to have a red Merc, and that's all there is to it.
Yeah,
It's
they didn't, exactly. You can't be happy, can you? So,
it's absolutely mad. And this is where,
yeah,
and to be honest, really, if you think about it, on a much kind of deeper level, it's really the secret to life as well.
definitely.
We set parameters on happiness. I'll only be happy if this, and this happens. So it's like you've got a loud hailer on the street. It's like, hey, everybody, pay attention to me. Get this. You've got to do this, this, and this for me to be happy. You know,
Yeah,
it's madness, right? I mean,
yeah,
why
no, it is.
wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you do that? So it's like it's only if we get treated in a certain way in shops, if only this, and this happens,
Mm.
all of which out of our control, then we're going to be happy. And if we come across people who, are difficult or they cut us up in the traffic or we jump the queue in Tesco's, then we're going to decide to be upset about it.
Yeah,
We all do it.
yeah,
We all do this. Myself included. Absolutely, I catch myself doing this at times. Sometimes I just laugh at myself. Think, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's like, God, that guy now that's jumped to queue, he's in charge of how I feel.
yeah, exactly. That's what a power, what power you've given other people, then, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And sometimes I'm not in control of how he acts or what his
No.
ethics are or priorities or whatever. That's just what he does. And I think like if somebody was to jump the queue, most of us would find that challenging. And again, we're just kind of humans. Like I'm not when I find it challenging, I'm not kind of critical of myself. I'm very kind of accepting, like, okay, God, I just try and laugh at myself, and it's like, God, what are you doing?
Yeah,
This is mad, why am I giving away my well-being to some other situation, And you're doing the same on the table, like the player rattles it in the bag, it comes across the bottom cushion and goes in the other bag, It's like just getting like all bent out of shape, You just
yeah,
got to laugh it off.
yeah, exactly. No, it's good stuff. Yeah, yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow now. I can't wait, actually.
That's
I
great.
wasn't looking forward to it. First of all, I was like, oh, because he is a good player. I was thinking, oh, I really want to win. I want to get in the semi-final. It's going to be on stream. If people are going to be watching, it's like, oh, it's like. But now I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm just practicing. I'm just going there, and it's the same as practicing on my own. Doesn't matter.
It's all you
Doesn't
can
matter.
do. Yeah,
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 I can't
and
control the outcome anyway. So why be worried? I can't control it. It's not possible.
no,
So therefore, why worry about something that I can't control?
and if you genuinely like embrace that at the time, that'd be great. And guess how you're going to play from a space of like you're fully hydrated, you've got food in you, you're just
Exactly.
there to have fun. You cannot not play well.
No, impossible.
You will
Impossible.
always play well when you're like that.
100%. The thing is, you see, I thought I was in control of the outcome until
Yes.
tonight. I actually believe that I was in control of the outcome. If I play to my full potential, I should beat this player. And that's been the problem, is I thought I could control the outcome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
I
No,
can't. I
none of
can't.
us
It doesn't
can.
matter what
No,
I'm playing. It doesn't matter. I can't control it.
no, no, no. That's right. That's right. It's the same in absolutely, every sport or in life, or a business versus another business or whatever else. Like it's exactly the same. It's the same premise. Like we're just no in control of that. Talk about controlling the controllables. And this is all you can do. It's like I work a lot with goalkeepers and stuff, and it's like trying to change their mindset a bit. Like they might have. I can remember sitting with them. We did it online actually, and we watched the match back together. And his team lost. I think it was 4-0. They lost 4-0. Now, obviously, his job is a goalkeeper, right? So that means four balls have gone past him. And it's like 4-0, but actually he saved. It should have been 12-0 because he saved 8 shots, and it was like, and we looked at a couple of them were like, I don't know if I've seen a better save than that. That was absolutely incredible. And he said the same himself. It's like, wow, that was really good. And again, like, so he went from kind of being all upset to like actually, and says, let's look at it like a bit deeper. And I'm sure like your club's going to go through this with you as well. How was the other team able to get 12 shots on target? That's not your fault,
Yeah.
right? Because like the midfield and the defenders should never let that happen in the first place. Because they should never have gotten to them in the first. He's the last kind of like the last straw kind of thing. The idea is the ball gets nowhere near there in the first place. You know, so again,
Yeah.
something he's not in control of. Right, that's not your fault. That's not on you. And even these balls that went past, it's like it's absolutely fine. It's like it's okay. I mean, it's like, yeah, you maybe could have done better with a couple of them, but it's like you needed to learn this lesson. You just embrace this because this is how we get better. Like next time when you're in that situation, you'll see, like you'll learn from this experience, and you'll go and do it again. It's like millionaire entrepreneurs that teach other entrepreneurs speak relentlessly to these young people fail fast. We
Yes.
need
Yeah.
you to have at least 6 or 7 business startup and failures before you find the one that works. So for
Yeah.
God's sake, don't spend 20 years doing that.
Yeah.
Fail fast. Can you start up 6, 7 businesses in the next 5 years? Go and crack on and do that. Get all the
Yeah.
learning done in 5 years, and then you'll be ready to crack on instead of spending 20 years doing it. Fail fast.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's how they're multimillionaires in the first place. They've all been bankrupt. Right? The average self-made multimillionaire has been declared bankrupt at least 4 times.
That's what's made him a millionaire, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about failure and our
Yeah.
relationship to it. So, in
Exactly.
order to have a winning mindset, we need to have a really, really profoundly good relationship with failure and
Yeah.
stuff going wrong. And part of that failure is controlling the controllables. Like the only thing Chris is in control of is himself.
Yeah.
And you're prepped for it, and you go out there and you try your best.
Yeah.
You're not
Exactly.
being
And
asked
embrace
to
failure.
not care. Not you just be really, really passionate about giving everything and doing everything you can. And if you start feeling a bit anxious and the scrolling's going the wrong way and you start feeling, but just notice that you're doing that. You're quite
Yeah.
self-aware, Chris. You're good at that.
Yeah.
Just no,
Definitely. Yeah.
yeah, just notice you're doing that, and just that's okay. I've accepted that. I'm just gonna put that to one side. Right, let's get back to best version of me. Come on, let's get on it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
let's go from there. But as I say, like it's fascinating with the players. with the elite pro players, understanding what buttons to push with them because Ellis is a lot different character to Jordan Shepherd, for example. To be fair, most people are a different character to Jordan Shepherd. They're very, very different. And
Yeah,
as
yeah,
I'm contacting them during the course of this event in China, it's I know how to get the best out of each one of them, and that route is totally poles apart. Because of it, just very, very, very different people.
yeah.
One needs fired up, and the other one needs kind of like reined in a bit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Amazing.
there's an upside to both ways. But it's all good. It's all fun. It's good. So I hope
Brilliant.
that helped, Chris.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Noel. It's great stuff. I'll let you know what happens tomorrow. I'm looking forward to
That'd
it.
be amazing. Thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate
No
it.
problem. Speak to you
Take
soon.
care, my friend.
Thanks, Noel. Take care. Thank you.
See you soon.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.